All right, so, Captain America, Brave New World,
Yeah.
finally premiered.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie's officially Captain America.
He's got the shield.
Yeah, and we're diving into early reactions and, like, full-on reviews for this.
Yeah.
And, you think with a Marvel movie, and especially one with this much, like, anticipation around it,
Right.
all the reviews would be, like, super positive.
Yeah, you'd think so.
But that's not exactly what we're seeing.
Not quite.
So what are we seeing? What's the overall vibe here?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag, right?
Oh, really?
Like, some critics are calling it, like, grounded and entertaining.
Oh,
But then others are saying it feels, like, undercooked or just straight up average. And, it's interesting because this isn't, like, totally unprecedented,
Yeah.
Remember Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, yeah.
People were super divided on that when it came out.
Yeah, totally.
And it ended up being a huge box office hit.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe this will be a similar situation.
Interesting. So let's get into some, like, specific takes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Emmanuel Noisette, he tweeted that it felt like the movie pulled a lot of political punches. And maybe even, like, showed too much in the trailers. So that's a pretty, strong opinion to start with.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder how deep they actually went.
Right. Like, what are they holding back?
Exactly.
And then you've got the Washington Post calling it an absolute blast.
Okay.
And that it fits really well with the rest of the MCU.
So, like, on completely the other side of the spectrum, then.
Yeah. It's like they saw two different movies.
Right.
It's so wild how different these reviews are.
Yeah.
But one thing that everybody seems to agree on is Anthony Mackie as Captain America.
Yeah.
They're saying he absolutely crushes it.
I've heard that, too.
And his chemistry with Danny Ramirez is supposed to be, like, incredible.
Oh, that's awesome.
So for fans who've been following Mackie since, like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, this is, like, a huge win, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it really shows that Marvel knows how to cast these roles.
Yeah.
And that Mackie really has what it takes to carry the shield.
Totally.
Yeah.
And speaking of, like, perfect casting,
Oh, yeah.
Harrison Ford is President Ross.
Oh, come on, Nick.
And, like, the whole transformation into Red Hulk.
Come on.
That's got to be, like, a dream come true for comic book fans.
It's huge for the fans.
Yeah. But, I do want to bring in, like, a little bit of a different perspective.
Sure.
Ben Kendrick from comicbook.com, he had a more, like, measured take on it.
Okay, what did he say?
He said, yeah, there are good things, and then there are things that are just okay.
Okay.
But the movie has a good message overall.
All right.
And it could be like a return to form for the MCU.
Interesting.
So I'm curious from, like, your perspective
Yeah.
as a longtime MCU fan. What do you think about that return to form idea?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting point, because some of the Phase 4 movies felt kind of disjointed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Brave New World might be, like, course-correcting and
Yeah.
actually trying to, like, tie things back together a bit more.
Gotcha.
And there's this YouTuber, Sean Chandler, who actually said that it was the most cohesive MCU entry since 2019.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big statement.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder if this is the start of the MCU, getting back to that, like, really tightly woven storytelling
Right.
that we loved in the earlier phases.
Yeah, and to make things even more interesting,
Okay.
we've got YouTubers with, like, totally different opinions.
Really?
So Chris Parker, he says the movie's enjoyable.
Okay.
The action's decent, but it lacks emotional depth.
Mm.
And then Sean Chandler, he actually said that it, like, met and exceeded his expectations.
Wow.
Even though he pointed out some, like, noticeable reshoots.
Oh.
And then this is interesting. He thought the villain was weak.
Oh, okay.
So it's just so fascinating how different these two takes are.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible like one of them just like missed something?
Yeah.
Or is it really just like all down to personal preference?
Right. It's so subjective.
Totally. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't really know until you see it for yourself.
Yeah.
But I do think it's worth noting that several reviews have mentioned the villain being weak.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
And it kind of makes me wonder if that's part of this bigger thing
Yeah.
about the movie possibly like playing it safe.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like not really taking any risks.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
So basically, Brave New World is like a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Some people love it for being grounded and cohesive.
Right.
Others think it's not deep enough
Yeah.
and maybe a little too safe. But everyone agrees Anthony Mackie is fantastic as Captain America.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of excitement about what this movie could mean for the future of the MCU.
Yeah. It'll be really interesting to see how audiences react.
And where Marvel takes things from here.
For sure.
So here's one final thing for everyone to think about. With all these different reactions, is Brave New World actually like a bold new direction for Marvel?
Hmm.
Or is it just them trying to course correct
Right.
after some of the not-so-great movies they've put out recently?
Yeah, good question.
So, yeah, I guess we'll leave that for you to decide.
I think we have to.
All right, that's our deep dive on Captain America: Brave New World premiere reactions.
Yeah, that was fun.
See ya.
See ya.